Alright, we should be recording. Yep. Welcome to the Fighter from 3. And I think we're going to hop right into it. Celtics are already in the Summer League, and I think, how far did they get? Something happened tonight. I've been very out of the news today with everything. But before I get into that, I'm going to quickly flash over to the Malice at the Palace documentary that's out on Netflix. I just watched it, and that was such a good documentary. I really liked it. It was really good. And if you haven't seen it and you have Netflix or you have seen it, well, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you have seen it, let me know how it was in the comments, because I think it was really good. I really liked the way it was kind of shown and everything, the lead up to it and everything, and honestly, it was a very good documentary. It got perspective from a couple of fans, a lot of the Detroit guys, and it's a lot of people who were involved, and a lot ties into it, and you've got footage from multiple different angles, from multiple different things, and honestly, it was just a good documentary. I can't really explain it. You gotta go watch it. I would really recommend it if you're a basketball fan. Even if you're a Celtics fan or not a Pacers or Detroit Pistons fan, or even if you know a lot about the Malice at the Palace already, like I kind of did. It kind of got me back into a basketball swing because when I jump between sports, I don't know if anybody can relate to me if you're a multi-sport content creator, but you kind of have days where one day or days or weeks or spans where you kind of jump from one sport to another, where one day you're more excited or passionate or something like that about one sport, and then you've got more drive to talk about a different sport, and it jumps. That kind of drove me, like, I'm excited to talk basketball. It kind of gets me in the mood for it, and like I said, if you haven't seen it and you're a basketball fan, go watch it. If you do or don't know about the Malice at the Palace, it's still a good documentary. Anyways, I just had to sift through quick. Enes Kanter is officially back in Boston. Yay. Oh, great. Just what we need. More Enes Kanter. As you can tell, I totally love more Enes Kanter. I really don't. But hey, I'm just happy our summer league team won with a 20 plus point performance over the 76ers. If there's any Philly content creators that are 76ers fans, I'm not laughing because it's the 76ers. It's really just, if this were any other team that we drop points on, I'd be laughing right now. I know Maxey wasn't there. I'll give him that. But you still got beat by 20 plus. Or actually, what was it, 20 points? Yup, it was. Boston has reached the 100-point mark or passed it in 3 straight games, with a 107-82 win over Denver, a 108-71 win over Orlando, with a record 33 assists in the Summer League, and the recent 20-point victory over Philly to make it an 180 game. Let's go! I like this team! I like how it's doing. This gets me hyped for the younger guys that are on that team. Like an Aaron Nesmith, like a Peyton Pritchard, like a Yamadur, who we didn't get to see last year because he was still in France. Like, I don't have his name pulled up, so I can't necessarily say it right now. But the rookie we just got in the second round, Bagarin, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really saying it right, but he had a great night. And the Celtics account for half of the league's 6 100-point games thus far in the Summer League, and they are 3 of 4 in that aspect, while the rest of the teams were 3 for 94 combined at the time of the Saturday night's final buzzer. They were 3 for 4. And the championship game is Tuesday night, and it will feature two teams with the best records throughout the 4 games. If there's more than two 4-0 teams, there's a tiebreaker of point differential. Boston's got it locked down, I almost guarantee you, because they had the 2-point win over the Hawks, the game 1. And then the game 2 win over Denver by over 20. The game 3 win against Orlando by, I think, around 20. And then the game 4 win against the 76ers for 420. So that's going to be, that's 60, what? Around 60, 62 points right there. Who's going to beat that differential through 4 games? It's hard to hit those 100-point marks, and they've done it. And the blowout last night didn't even feature Peyton Pritchard, who left for another commitment. But it's fallen on leading scorers like Aaron Nesmith and Peyton Pritchard. Let's go. That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to see from the young guys, especially Peyton Pritchard, who has a connection with Ime, and I think his development or his ceiling went up a little bit when that happened. And then Carson Edwards stepped up into the leading ball handler role. And he had a game-high 7 assists to go along with 5 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and those 16 points. And he got praise from Summer League head coach Joe Mazzulla. And that's good. I'm glad he's getting some praise. Romeo Langford had an aggressive effort, and he put up some points. Bruno Fernando, someone who came in, I think, early in the Summer League, I think it was right after the Hawks game, or it was somewhere between the Hawks game and the 76ers game. He had a good night. Guys like Zach August Zach August had a good game. And it's funny, each game featured a different player that stepped up. Madurick, game 1. Aaron Nesmith, game 2. Sam Hauser, game 3. And Peyton Pritchard, just about every time he was on the floor. And then in game 4, you kind of had a guy there. Well, you didn't, but I could say it's Carson. Or I could argue it was maybe Aaron or Peyton. Well, Peyton wasn't there, but I could argue it was Aaron. And they're getting praise from a lot of guys on that staff. They're averaging 25.5 assists per game, which would equal 30.6 assists per game at a 48-minute rate, because they're playing shorter games in the Summer League. And here's even a quote by Nesmith. Quote, "It's a big emphasis for us. It's mainly just playing together. That's the main thing that we always talk about. We don't necessarily say we have to move the ball, but we were big on making an extra pass and just playing together and cheering for your teammates. And so just playing for each other, that's how you happen to get all these assists." And they've got a good mentality. I like that mentality, because if you carry a good mentality in the Summer League, and then let's say that translates into the NBA, wherever you get a spot, that's good, because that mentality will help you along the way. And in certain cases, that mentality can be contagious, and that's a very good thing. Is there some downsides to it? Yes, but it's there's more good than bad as of right now, is at least from this point of view. If things continue, then again, winning makes everything better. We all know this. All right, but I was gonna say I don't have much on the Celtics right now, in terms of other stuff to talk about. Well, news from Twitter and everything. Alright, well, this loads. Alright. So, yeah, Begarin. Yeah, they had a good night in game 1. And then Pritchard said this, quote, "He just told me, like, last minute, end of the game, that's where the point guards are made. And that's where point guards separate themselves in those moments." And I think, I don't necessarily know what player or coach he's talking about. But either way, that's a good mentality to have. I'm fine with that. And Romeo Langford is the one that shot the dagger to win against the Hawks. And in that first game, in the first quarter, plus 11 with Yamadur on the court, minus 10 with him off. That's funny. And then, alright, let me continue to cycle through this. Oh, in that first game, Yamadur scored the first points. Off the bench, by the way. In that Hawks game. I find that funny. But then, yeah, it was right after that game. Bruno Fernando was added to the Summer League squad, so he was like a mid-Summer League guy. And then the Celtics asked Peyton Pritchard to continue to grow as a game manager, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I think he's definitely got the potential as a scorer. He can somewhat score already. I think he's just got to develop as a game manager, maybe a little bit more as a ball handler. I think he's good. I think he'll be good, really. Wanted to read that article, but it was behind a paywall. I'm not paying for that. Just to read one article a week. And then Celtics Summer League head coach Joe Mazzulla said of Aaron Nesmith's shooting, quote, "When he gets open looks, I think it's going in, and I think he does too." That's good. I'm glad we know he's shooting well, because I'm just happy. And then Bruno Fernando said KG is his favorite player of all time. That's good. I'm glad he's on the team of one of his role models, Kevin Garnett. I'm glad. That should hopefully that gives him a bit more push as a young center. And then Nesmith said that his shooting is his quote is my calling card and quote what I do best. But he added that he worked to become a better all-around player during this offseason. That's good. As long as you become a better ball handler, not bad or not ball handler, but all-around player, because we definitely need it. We definitely need it. Also, did I already say that Enes Kanter is now officially a Celtic again? I hate it here. I know I did, I'm just restating. But man, we held the lead all game, dude. I'm glad. Or at least the second half. Also, Yamadur, that right growing strain that kept him out last game, is day to day. And was supposed to be reevaluated, I think, yesterday? No, today. Was it today? Hold on, let me check. Yep, he's supposed to be reevaluated today. Still have not heard anything on him. But Carson Edwards said this about the Summer League, quote, "The best opportunity to try to do everything you can and do it at a high level. So when it comes time when I get an opportunity and they ask me for one thing, it's like, well, I've been working on it and I've had a chance to do my best to try and to do my best at it." That's good. I'm glad that he's seeing this as a way to perfect his game and kind of help him for when he really needs to step up and shine and when his number's called. That's a great mentality to have. And then Romeo Langford said this, quote, "I feel like these few games I've played have actually helped me a lot and are going to help me excel and lead over into training camp into playing my role during the season. I just feel like it's helping me out. I'm getting there and I'm happy about it." That's good. Because now these guys know they know what the Summer League's about. They know it's to help them perfect their game, and they're using it to their advantage. That's always good. Although we weren't up that much through the first quarter of that game, I just noticed we really hit the gas after the first quarter. I think that's what it was, because I didn't fully watch the game. I caught the second half. Because Summer League's it's Summer League. I'm still kind of annoyed. Yeah, I missed that game, but it worked out. And then Dennis Schröder. Dennis Schröder arrived in Boston. Sam Hauser got a two-way contract after dropping 21 in Game 3. I like Sam Hauser coming in. I don't know if he's really going to be somebody who gets many opportunities or even is on this roster, but as long as they keep him around, they keep him close, I'll be happy because he's shown to be productive in the Summer League. And then Dennis Schröder. Now, I talked about this before with other content creators on streams, especially over on Coach Dante's channel last time I did a stream there. Go check that out. It was with Mitch Kopsky and Robert of the Philly Sports Podcast. Was Philly Sports Podcast? Yeah, and it was a good stream. Go check that out. And we're setting up to do another one, so go check that out too. Or go check that out when the time comes. We're still setting a date. It might be Monday. It might be Wednesday. I don't know. But anyways, Dennis Schröder. Now, I have headphones on. I don't even... Again, I did the same thing I did last week. I have headphones on. I got nothing running through my computer so I can hear. I don't have it hooked up so I can hear my voice. I don't know why I have them on. I do this every time, but I do this always during some podcast. But anyways, this he was supposed to be looking for 9.5, and I think it was I forget what it was. Something. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me on this. It may have been a player option or something like that. Something. I think it was something more long term. They gave him a 1 year 5.9. I'm happy with that. $6 million compared to 9.5 that he wanted. That's a steal, dude. Especially since the Lakers offered him that big contract and he said, "Nah, I'm gonna gamble in free agency," and then came to Boston for $6 million. Oh, I'm so glad we finessed the Lakers on that one. You don't want your best point guard, your starting point guard didn't want a bunch of money from you, but he'll come here for under $10 million. Yeah, let's go. Lakers are building on an injury-prone foundation of Russ, a foundation that's going to get injured of Russ, LeBron, and AD, but let's not talk about that. And they just lost a good point guard and signed Caruso and stuff, but let's not talk about that. Let's not get into that. I want to, but I won't. I'll be nice. But realistically, I like the signing. You can pair him up with Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn's more of a defensive guy. I'd argue Schröder can give you some shooting on the from the top, and he's a good ball handler too. So you've got those two paired up, ball handling, or can jump to the shooting guard spot. I'd say Chris Dunn's more of a guy you can flex the shooting guard spot than Schröder, but that's debatable on your view. And you've also got Smart there, so in the case you need to move Smart to a small forward, pull Jalen, and then if that were ever to happen, if you need to run more of a smaller than you already do, small ball lineup, that would work. We already have a kind of small lineup, but hey, that's because I see Al Horford running at center right now. Who knows? Taco Fall could be our future boy. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not saying he's gonna start. That's kind of a joke, but I want to see Robert Williams at the 5. I don't want Al Horford at the 5 necessarily, but I can see the benefits from both. I can see both getting, depending on the situation, the start, and honestly, I can see the reasons for both to give a start, especially because Al Horford's been here before. He at least has some knowledge with the staff, with some of the players, especially he's played with guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember because I think it was 2017 he was here too. I think it was 2016, 17, and then 18 he jumps to Philly, and then 19 where'd he go after that? Thunder, and then wasn't it 17, 18? I don't know because with how the COVID year worked, I might be wrong. I might be wrong, and it might have been 19 Philly, 20. I think it was 19 Philly, 20 Thunder, 21 back to Boston. I think that's how it went. But I can see the reason for both. But Schröder, we got him for less than he was expected to sign with. I'm happy about that. And I mean, hey, I will take it any day of the week. Any day of the week. And he can give you some good production. He's not going to give you exactly what you need. He's not going to give you star point guard numbers like top 5 point guard numbers, maybe even top 10, but he'll give you numbers if you need him. He's not exactly I would say the biggest game manager either, but it works. If you can make it fit right, because Kemba wasn't necessarily the best fit. If you can make him fit, that's enough. But this has been Fighter from 3. I gotta end on that note. Not really much to talk about, and I'll see you guys next week unless there's news in the week. There probably will be, but I'll catch you next week on the podcast. There may not be news. I'm getting my vaccine shot late Monday, so it might really take me out the next time. So I may not make videos on certain topics and just wait till the podcast. I forgot to say this on the Common Flock. I will say this on the Golden Dome, but if there's something big happens and I don't necessarily cover it, that's why. But I will see you guys next week. Hopefully feeling a lot better than I will midweek, and signing out.